On September 1st, 2023, a bill that is moving through the House right now will more than likely pass called the Retroactive Child Support Bill. I'm gonna get my mail today. Let's see. Oh, I got something from the Office of the Attorney General. I wonder what it could be. Oh my God, they're telling me that I owe retroactive child support for 9 months on a woman. I don't even know who she is. I gotta tell all my friends to get a rally, and we gotta all band together and get something done. Oh my God.
7 months earlier.
Oh, I don't care about this crap. Ugh. Ooh, video games. Hey, Abbott said he's gonna take care of dads and moms. Well, you don't need to worry about this pissed off parent guy. Oh, who cares? This is stupid, pointless. Let's kill some zombies. Woo, woo! Get something done. Oh my God. Okay, I'm on pissoffparent.com. What can we do? Don't say I didn't warn y'all. If you don't fix the issue, you get what you deserve. Oh man. Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. I just got off a 13-hour phone call for my real job, and some new information came down for I'd shared out there. It is a call to action time. Time is definitely ticking away, and we need to get some folks doing some things, or this September is not going to look too good for a number of people. I'm going to get right to it here. Let me just pop the thing over, get over here to the side. Hopefully, I can be out of the way here. So, tomorrow in the Senate, SB 590 will be. Well, I'm trying to keep my thoughts together here. SB 590 is going to be presented to the Jurisprudence Committee, and they will be again open to the public, and people will be able to offer testimony for or against. I'm going to go ahead and provide information and ways to let you share your thoughts on that. And this is go time, because this is happening. One of the five bills has met that next piece of criteria, and if we don't do something, or at least try to do something, we all get what we deserve. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go through the bill real quick, just so you know what is going on, and maybe start collecting your thoughts on what you want to put in your email. I would say keep it respectful, obviously. Don't need to be nice, but keep it respectful. No threats, no stupid crap, whatever. But I would really encourage people to email Brian Hughes, which I'll provide the link in that information here in a bit. But I would definitely say people need to get involved. And if you don't, well, it's going to go through and it's going to be bad. So real quickly on what retroactive child support is, I can read through all the fun legalese here, but basically at the time of conception, the man will get put on child support, and just getting right down to it. This one here is for 50% of the expenses. There's actually another one, similar bill going through the House. I don't know where it's at right now, but it's saying equitable. I think we all know what the word equitable means, so you can do with that what you will, but we'll just stick with the 50% right now. But basically, what that means is that you'll be put on child support. There's no DNA requirement, so it's whoever the mom names as the dad, but you'll be responsible for 50% of the diapers, the car seat, crib, clothing, infant formula, and these are the parts that should concern people more than anything, is the lost wages as a result of time spent receiving medical attention during gestation, delivery, and postpartum recovery, which I jokingly referred to as that 40-year time frame. There was actually nothing, in there limiting that or anything to that effect. So this is basically, how that's going to work. And again, if it passes, which we all know it will, because state of Texas is hurting for money, Title 4D money, which I've talked about, I don't know how many times. It will definitely go through. So with that, I'm going to get right to the meat of it. So I'm assuming a number of people. I mean, if you can get down to Austin tomorrow morning, it is actually set for, I believe, 9 a.m. Actually, I'll put the link to at least this list here in the comments, so you can have that information, so you can make sure I'm not full of crapola. But that should go out to all the different places that this is streaming to. Actually, I'll answer a question or two here. I see a couple of comments. First one up here is from Ricardo. How people from Texas can stop this? I'm going to say really kind of like that video that I played. We've had about 7 months or so to really fight against. Well, I say 4 or 5 at this point to fight against this, and not a whole lot's been done. They pretty well have their mind set on it, but if we get enough people letting them know or questioning the bill or saying that there's going to be repercussions, meaning we won't vote these people back in or whatever. That who knows may do something. It's one of those you have to do something. The Titanic's going down, and you feel like you got to do something. You either play the violin, or you can be like, was it Jack, and try to at least get some people out here. That's kind of I guess I'm being Jack in my own way. Got to do something. Let's see here. Curtis commented. Let's see here. States need to lose their child support federal funding, Title 4D. Yeah, that'll never happen. If they're not going to do what's right for children, parents should pay child support, period, or shouldn't pay child support, period. This family law court, state money laundering abomination. Agree, 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 except for the first comment because I mean, I know I get the sentiment behind it, but that'll never happen. They love that Title 4D funds. I have a cartoon of the big pig with the teats and everybody suckling at the teat of Title 4D funds over on the website. It's where we're at. They again 5 bills. That tells you just how serious and pushing. And if for some reason miraculously these 5 bills, all 5 don't make it, which I'll be shocked to be honest. We need to then take those next 2 years to put together a plan to put an end to this nonsense and start doing the things that we should have been doing all along. Yeah, I can kind of go off on a tangent with that. But anyway, so March 29th, tomorrow at 9 a.m. It looks like the first bill. I might as well just go ahead and get it out of the way here. The first bill, SB 590, is going to be brought up and discussed. The legislative chairs here are Brian Hughes, who's also the author of the bill, Senator Nathan Johnson, Senator Brandon Creighton, Senator Juan, oh boy, Hinoza, I'm bad with names, and Mays Middleton. That's actually probably our best bet out of all of them. I don't know most of the others, but Mays, again, he's the guy that did the 50-50 bill last go around, HB 580 or whatever, back a couple years ago. He's also introduced an equal shared parenting bill. And he's also doing the one to stop taxpayer funding taxpayer lobbying. So out of the names there, the only one that I kind of can give any credit to is Mays Middleton that's on the board. So when you're doing your email, hopefully you'll be doing an email. You will then keep that in mind as you're writing that. Getting right down to it. So, did a little investigative work. Actually, also Jeff Morgan, the Godfather, as he's called, had been doing things on his side. It's kind of, well, I guess, kind of caught wind of that and was going through trying different things. And I'd sent an email to Katrina Corkill. Let me see if I can just kind of walk you through. Is there a way to? Unfortunately, not a way to make this any bigger. Haha. So I sent an email earlier today, and I think I copied that in the Facebook comments on a few different areas that I'm in, and just basically saying, hey, how can we send our witness statement to the chair and at least have her voices heard at the very least. And she responded back pretty quickly just saying there is no form, and then please email the scstate.affairs@senate.texas.gov with your testimony. So I went ahead and got that information, and I'll put it right there. So that should actually be kicking into the comments. If not, for some strange reason, I'm going to highlight that and put that into the open chat so it is also there. And what I would recommend doing is with that email, crafting together a email talking about, and we're going to talk a little bit here about just some challenges that I personally feel, in my humble opinion. I'm going to go to the Americans for Parental Equality. I believe it was Rustin put some information out there of why he or the group would be against this, to kind of get people thinking about what to write, and then from there, do what you will. I can already see from the number of folks that are still on that this is probably going to fuel effort. But you know what? I'm gonna do what I do, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and move myself out of the way here. Let's do that. That way we can, let me see if I can expand this out there so we can see it. I'm going to go ahead and do the, oh, oh, great. Let me shrink this back down because I thought that would have, here we go. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a long day. My brain matters pretty well. I got two brain cells both fighting for third place, so that's kind of where I'm mentally at. But instead of getting some much needed rest, I'm deciding to hang out with you all couple of you here, and see if there's anything to be done. So Rustin's writing here for Americans Criminal Equality. The retroactive child support to conception bill has been scheduled for public hearing. Need people to testify against. I hopefully everyone that's going to be voting against this horrendous bill. And what he's writing in here is that child support is already too high. 60 to 70% of all economic custodial parents are behind on child support, and these bills will put them in an additional 9 to 10 months of debt as soon as their child is born. That is pretty well accurate. It's the way the Texas title or child support does their how they figure it. If you're basically one penny delinquent, you're considered delinquent, and they're notoriously 30 to 60 days behind on updating their database. So, is that an accurate number? I personally don't think so because the overall majority of child support or through a wage garnishment, so it's out of that person's hands. So I personally question the 60 to 70%, but hey, it is what it is. But it's going to be more money and put people that are behind even further. It talks about Texas being ranked dead last in all 50 states on shared parenting from the NPO. Let's see, child support petition. I haven't really read through this to be honest. I'm just kind of doing alongside of you. More children anymore, right? Okay, not a whole lot there. All right, I'll give my 2 cents on it. Let me go back here and just put my big fat mug on the screen here. All right, so what I see as kind of the biggest issues, actually, you know what? Let me pull the bill back up here just so I can talk to it and move my fat head out of the way here. Here's my issues with it, and others, chime in with your thoughts. I mean, again, I'm not the smartest tack in or the tool in the toolbox, so I just kind of give my gloss over. Hopefully, a lot of smarter people can look at it and go, "Oh yeah, you didn't think about this, this, and this, and this." But one of the big things here is that there's no DNA requirement. So, looking at the bill, any woman can go down to the child support office and say, Elon Musk, whoever is the father of this child, and they're immediately put on this retroactive child support for X amount of dollars, and then it's up to the guy, whoever that is, to then fight to get his name off, to get off of it, usually losing money, time, effort, and everything else. There should, at the very least, be a DNA requirement built into this. Again, I've said before that there are times child support makes sense, especially for absent parents. If they're not going to be around their child, not going to take any part. I mean, they created the child, therefore they need to be responsible. I don't want to be responsible because what happens is they go on welfare, and then my taxes have to pay for it, which means I have to pay for it. I wasn't there for the fun part, so I'm not going to be there for the next 18 years. But there's no DNA requirement. There at the very, very, very least, there should be a DNA requirement there. And I would say personally, in your email, there should be a reference to the fact that there's no DNA in there. The other big parts in here, I mean, the 50%, I get, while they're talking about that with diapers, car seat, crib, clothing. There's no, I mean, there's no formula for that. I mean, you would hope it would be written in there that diapers are X amount, and of course, the first 9 months, I assume it's going to be a box of diapers. I mean, if you think about this, this is the retroactive child support. Last I checked, babies in the womb can't have diapers, but I guess you can buy a box of Pampers and have it ready to go when the child gets here. So I don't know what diapers are anymore. Say $20 a box. So he's responsible for 10. I mean, there's nothing put into that says here's the cap that it's going to be a month or whatever worth of diapers, and then after that, then child support that we have existing should then take care of those things. If the typical the way custody normally works for most dads. Car seat, yeah, makes perfect sense. A crib makes perfect sense. Clothing, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, there should be a couple onesies in there. That I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, are we getting them at Walmart, or are we getting them at the Gap, or there's not a number to that. It's just saying clothing. What is that a $10,000 clothing allowance? Is that a $50 clothing allowance? And if we're talking about child support and doing this base information, it really should be with like Walmart prices and I'm not talking down anyone. I mean, I'm a Walmart guy. If it's not already obvious, I would go to Walmart and get whatever I need, especially for a baby that's going to be growing and getting out of those clothes within a few months or so, unless kids have changed since I've had mine. But there should be a number on that. It is and leaving it up to the mom, that ain't happening or shouldn't happen. That's crazy. Infant formula. Well, then you have the whole. Is there infant formula? Is breastfed? I mean, is that going to be part of it? We don't know. How do we, prove that out? And again, I mean, your email can be as in depth or as vague as you need to be. These are just observations that I'm having. The other part is lost wages. 50% of lost wages. So, what we're going to see, basically, in my opinion, is that she pulls out the "I'm pregnant," and then suddenly she quits her job. She just can't do it anymore. So then now you're going to be responsible for half of her wages. Is that gross, net, a percentage? I mean, well, actually, it says here 50%. So if she's making, let's just say, I'm going to use round numbers here, $100,000 let's say $100,000 in 9 months. Let's just throw those numbers out there because I'm be bad at math. Then you're going to be responsible for $50,000, but that's gross, not net. She doesn't see that. And then, of course, this is tax-free Title 40 funds. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. And I know it talks about here receiving medical attention during gestation, which is the entire pregnancy. Then, of course, there's delivery. And then there's the big part is postpartum recovery. There's no end cap on that. I joke about this now. My ex-wife, 8, 9, 10. Let's see how old. Let's just say 10 years. It was, I think, at least 10 years. My youngest son was 10 years old. My ex-wife tried to say that she was still in postpartum. So, and whether you agree or there's no cap on postpartum recovery. And then what does that encompass? Is that going to be the medical? She's got to get on medication. She can't work ever again. And then now you're responsible for half of that. That what I've been saying for months, and part of the reason I made that initial video months ago is you guys have no idea what's coming down the pipe for you. This is going to be horrible. And if anybody would have bothered to watch my video a few weeks ago, which by the way, no one did, in Indiana, they've already done this and they're modifying it. They're trying to modify this because it's so horrible, but no one felt like they could be bothered to watch that video when I went live to provide that information. And yeah, I'm still a little ticked off about it. All right, so those are my thoughts on it. Again, tomorrow morning is when they're going to be reading this and hopefully reading everyone's testimony or witness statement. I did find another place that goes to Brian. This is that guy right there. His personal email address, which then opens up a form. Let me make sure. Yeah, here it is. This link here goes to this form, and it would actually go to Brian Hughes. Who knows if he'll keep it or not. I personally would probably send it to both places, your email. So it's at least recorded in two different places. And there's not a whole lot we can do at this point. I mean, there's 5 bills submitted. I don't want to sound like a defeatist here, but there's 5 bills already submitted for retroactive child support. This is the first one coming down the pipe. All I could ask is that as many people as possible send an email to the senators that will be listening to this. So we've got Brian Hughes, Nathan Johnson, Brand Creighton, Senator Juan Hanisha, and Senator Mays Middleton, and that's to this email address right here. That's going to go to the main location. I would put, is SB 590, the Retroactive Child Support Bill. So SB 590, and by Senator Hughes, and it's again called the Retroactive Child Support Bill, which I'm sure everyone's going to know. It's the first one they're going to read tomorrow morning. Whoops, yeah, tomorrow morning, and tell them what you think. I'd like to. I'm going to pull up chats here and see if anyone else has other ideas of things that we can, uh, other things I hadn't thought of, because I'm sure there's got to be other issues with that bill that I haven't thought of. See, Ricardo's asking how we make the people listen. I don't know. I've been involved in this for a decade, and the level of ambivalence on this is ridiculous. I mean, you'll see as my moods, the chemicals in my head switch around. I start making videos or posts that are a little angrier, like the shaking booby video that I made a couple days ago. That people would rather watch shaking boobies than study up on how to and how to fight for their children and be a better parent, stuff like that. And I don't do, I don't do this. Well, I do kind of be a jerk, but I do this because it just pisses me off so much, hence the pissed off parent, that that people would rather do that. But then they're the same people because I'm already expecting September 2nd. That's what part of the video, the video that I showed here. That I'm expecting September 2nd. The all the equal shared parenting and dad talk today's and dad equal custody and marriage, they're going to be flooded with. I just got a summons in the mail from the Attorney General of Texas, telling me that I owe retroactive child support on a woman I don't even know who she is, or it's not mine, or whatever, and wanting help and crying and whining and moaning. And I already have this video. I'm probably going to bring my website down for about a month or so, and that's going to be the only video that plays because I've been trying to warn people for months, if not years, on a number of different things. Actually, I've been warning people on retroactive child support for 4 years because every year before the Roe v. Wade thing happened, there had been a bill introduced at the federal level to do retroactive child support. And if people don't want to believe me, if you go to Pissed Off Parent under, I believe it's child support, there's a section there talking about that they've been trying to do this for since 2014, 16, whatever. I can't remember the date on it, but I've been trying to warn people about this, but no one wants to listen. And then when it does pass, and you get, in addition to the 20 plus percent, which we all know is 30% of your income removed from you, and they hit you with that 10, 15, $20,000 retroactive thing that's going to just crush you, then you're going to want to do a change. Hence why that video came out where we got to get a rally and we got to fight and we got to do this. It's going to be too late at that point. It's going to be a done deal. Um, yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do. I make, videos. I got a website. I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for donations. I do all this stuff trying to get people to share this stuff and get it out to the general population. And for the most part, it falls on deaf ears. There's nothing else I can do. Again, I'm Jack trying to save the Titanic, and most other people are wanting to just not do a damn thing. I don't know what else to do. I can only do so much. I've already, spent a lot of time, money, and effort trying to change this. And I want it to change because it's going to hurt kids. I mean, imagine how many women are going to immediately quit their job once they get pregnant and immediately have postpartum. I mean, it's easy to get this stuff. It's not. It's not. It's going to be simple because again, the state, they're hurting for Title 4D funds. I mean, I reported on this a couple weeks ago. They're hurting bad. They with the CPS funds, they lost that lawsuit because they couldn't they were too busy taking kids out of their homes instead of doing the family first thing. And those monies, they're hurting for money. They've got to find a way to recover that. And magically, 5 bills, not four, not three, not two, not one, 5 bills for retroactive child support popped up all of a sudden, and they all magically say roughly the same thing. I mean, it's like, come on, and trying to get people to do something about it. And I know there's not a whole lot that you can do, but there is. You can like, share, subscribe, get it out to people that wouldn't normally know about this. That's where a lot of this comes from. There's people every day that would they, they don't care about it until it impacts them and they want to get involved. But I'm trying to get it out to people that wouldn't ordinarily be involved that are going to go, wow, this is wrong. It does happen. Individual conversations, sharing it with friends and family, doing those and make and get them to learn. And then also, for the people that are involved in it, have them learn how this works and then be able to articulate it to other people and start changing stuff around. I mean, I'm only one person here. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, let's see here. Ricardo made another comment here. See how many horrific things children have to suffer. I don't know. I don't know how bad it's going to get. Actually, going off in a completely different direction. I can't talk about too much because of all the platforms I'm on will deplatform me if I mention it. But if anyone here knows David Lowe, Lowe, go to his personal page and what he dealt with today down at the Capitol. The videos and the pictures that he showed for something that's going on right now is completely blows my mind. I can't believe one, this is Texas. Two, that like this stuff is happening. I just don't know what to even do about that. But yeah, all I can tell people actually it won't even matter now. But I tell people, don't get into relationships, don't have unprotected sex, don't have sex. Sorry, that until all this stuff works itself out, that's the really only thing you can do. And I know it sounds, silly or whatever, but there's nothing else. I mean, as it stands right now, any woman can name. Well, this bill. Well, I'm sorry. When this bill passes, any woman can name any man as a father, and you have to spend thousands of dollars to hopefully get removed. Nothing's going to happen to her, so she's got no incentive, no reason to not name you, not to go down that path. They're going to find whoever they want to, the richest guy, the poorest guy, whatever they want to do, and they're going to get away with it unless enough people email Brian Hughes and the committee and tell them no. I've provided what I think. I'm hoping other people come up with better ideas than I do. I'll definitely throw them up here. Um, is reasons to say. I mean, I would say the DNA thing not being in there. That's something that I would say has to change, and there needs to be limits on those other pieces. And there's going to be people that are going to be on the other side going, "Oh, he just doesn't want." No, I mean, if you're an absent parent, you should be paying child support. I don't want to pay for the kid. You had them. You had fun having them. I don't want to. I'm not paying for it. So suit up. But I lost my train of thought. It's been a long day. Um, the only way this is going to change is if enough people, email these people and tell them, and everyone organizes and does stuff. Right now, I know I'm looking. Actually, I won't even embarrass everyone on the numbers, but the number of people that care about this currently is very low. See here, Joe. Hey, Joe. And that's the reason why the movement is so slow for change. Look at how okay, yeah. Yeah, you were talking about exactly what I was talking about. You shared the pictures that David had. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I was telling my wife over dinner tonight. I was like, the time for turning a blind eye or saying someone else will handle it, or I don't want to get involved, or well, just let them have this little X, whatever that is. Those days, unfortunately, have to be over because, like bullies, once you give them an inch, they get emboldened and empowered, and they keep pushing forward. That's how they operate. Same thing for this. They have been pushing and inching away, and unfortunately, a Republican. Actually, everyone on here, I believe, is a Republican on the Senate there. I may be wrong on one or two of them. I have no idea, but I know one, two, three. Yeah, three of them are definitely Republicans. They're leading the charge. Brian Hughes, Republican, conservative Republican. He wrote the damn bill. What does that say? And then you got the Leachmeister. He wrote I think he wrote the companion. Yeah, he wrote the companion House bill. And what's hilarious about that is that him and the equal shared parenting community, not me, the equal shared parenting community had been buddies for like a decade, and they all helped each other out, and blah blah blah. And Leach screwed y'all. I mean, and is laughing all the way to the bank on it. Oh god, yeah. This is what happens when you're sleep deprived. You've been working too much. You just kind of let it all hang out. It's going to come down to millions of Texans that are tired of getting screwed over, stepping up and saying this is enough and we're not going to take it. That's what it's going to take. I've been saying this. I see, Joe, you've been with me the longest. You know my rants the longest. I think out of everyone that's probably on here. How long have I been saying this crap? I mean, I fought everyone in the equal shared parenting community on it. Every single damn one of you. I've been fighting you because you all thought you could work with these people. You can't. You have got to get everyone involved and have the people. They work for us, not the other way around. And that's what's happening right now. And they'll squelch anyone that says anything. I'm pretty well untouchable. And I'm not saying that to brag. There's nothing that they can take from me. They can't take my kids. My kids are essentially aged out. There's nothing they can do to me. And I've got no problem telling them where to stick it, but I'm not going to stick my neck out and then have no one there to back it up. I can't go, all right, Leach, all right, Hughes, all right, the rest of you guys. I've got 5 million Texans behind me that if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're not getting in next time. You know how many people I've got? Let me just go ahead and drop my pants for you people. I've been doing this for I had the YouTube channel, I think, for 5 years. I've got 700 subscribers. I mean, thank you for all 700 that have subscribed. Don't get me wrong, but I can't go to Leach and Hughes and the rest of these yahoos and tell them they're in big trouble because they're going to go 700, really, and that's worldwide. Wow, I'm scared. That's the hard facts, and it was well. If you look at this, I mean, just kind of show you all my stats. My stuff's being looked at. I mean, people watch this stuff, but sharing it and getting stuff out there, that's unfortunately without spending millions of dollars, which I don't have, one, and two, I won't, because everybody that does spend money ends up losing it. Um, it's just, the return on investment's not there for me to spend, thousands of dollars, which more than I already do, is knowing that I'm not going to get anything back. There's going to be no return. I mean, it's the simple finances here. There's no return on investment. The guys, let's see here. Well, I'm on a rant here. Who was it? Joe Lowry and David Bello. They were working on the equal shared. Oh gosh, the equal shared parenting bill, getting it out to take care of the misinformation. Which one? Oh, by the way, this is the Indiana bill for child support. 14 views. Let's see here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Oh yeah. I did. Apologize, you don't hear double voice, but I talked about it or played the video. But yeah, I made a video that Joe Lowry and David Bello. Well, Joe Lowry, he spent $4,000 of his own money to send out leaflets to all the representatives. $4,000 of his own money to try to get the word out. I'm trying to find. Let's see if I did. I probably didn't. Yeah, I didn't. It's not on this one, but yeah, I mean, what's the return on investment? That's kind of what it boils down to with a lot of this stuff. We're trying to, we got a few people trying to make change. We need more people to get involved. And if you're, it yeah, I've been blessed with. I'm a tech nerd. I can make videos, or at least I pretend I can. And I try to get involved. But that, I've got my life and my family, and I try to get this done and everything else. We've got to get other people to rise up and lead and get involved to do stuff. If you live in Austin, get your butt down to the capital and do stuff. If you can't do that, like, share, subscribe. Those are free things you can do. Talk to people about this. Learn. Pissedoffparent.com is, I think, not to brag, but I think it's like the only / best site out there that has data and information to learn about this stuff. and you can use that to then teach other people and start having those conversations. Getting in touch with your legislators, who represents you. I put the link out there a billion times. Having those conversations. Let's see here. Yeah, who represents me? Uh, Doing that. That's try to the whole make disciples, to get all biblical here. Making disciples, getting other people involved, because I'm getting old, as are the a number of the other folks. It doesn't need to just be like the same 10 guys doing stuff. You need to get other people involved, and so they can do that. And if you are like, I don't know what to do, if something as simple as going into each one of the videos, liking them, because as we all know about the algorithm, that does it. Go to other ones, do the same thing there. Take 5 minutes out, find 5 or 10 of your friends, share that information. Find out who your representatives are. Get involved in if your kids are in school still, get involved in their dog program or whatever they have there. Start those conversations. I mean, that is the way it's going to happen. It's not going to be a magic thing. Otherwise, we're just going to keep having this crap. That's just the cold hard facts. So I've got a first time listener. He's probably getting an earful. Hey, Nick, Spokane, Washington. All right. Nick, glad to have you here. I would say, for you, I'm assuming you're, getting involved probably because you got pulled into the old child support hustle or the parental alienation, all those different things. If you're wanting to get involved, I'd say, go to Pissed Off Parent, look at the information there. I know a lot of it is Texas based, but there's a lot of national data there. Learn how the Title 4D stuff works and how your laws work, and use the same stuff there to then like Google for stuff in Washington. Like, what are actually my stuff has Title 4D and all that, but find out who your representatives are, who you can get, other people in your area, other groups that you can, do meetups with. If fundraising, again, all these groups, I don't do donations. I know other groups do. Work with them if you have a gift for planning or doing, fundraising. Do some fundraising. There's a lot of ideas that you can do: car washes, car shows, things like that. To then, do something like actually Joe Lowry did. He put a billboard out in his neighborhood or on a street, talking about the crap with Title 4D funds and the judiciary, and then referring them back to a website. It's one of those, get moving. And also, I mean, for the people that are like, oh my God, I'm too hurt by what's going on. One, I get it. I mean, we have been there in varying degrees, but you know what? You turn that pain into purpose and you start, inching forward. It helps with the other part of it. That therapy, getting involved and making it positive is going to be therapy for everybody, especially you. Be that therapy. It's hard. Having your kids taken away from you, that's one for me. I can't imagine having my kids taken away from me. So I can't even begin to, talk about that. False allegations. You and I can hang out for a while. Robert Garza, actually, saw his name. He's here in the thing. He just got the Taken Back bill passed through the Senate. It's in the House right now. One guy did it. I mean, it can happen. Just finding out what your gifts are, whatever those are, and start doing it. If it's journaling, if it's talking with people, if it's research, web design, getting out there. If you want to do a car wash, just is getting involved, and then that's going to get things moving. That's it. And listen, we got a celebration of a good thing here. I got Chuck on. Hey, Chuck. You know my story. It's 1,247 days here, and seeing them for the first time is awesome. Bam. Good job, Chuck. Yeah, I was actually following that. That you finally got a chance to see him after all that time. Yeah, I mean, a lot of work, a lot of nonsense you had to go through in order to make that happen. But I'm assuming fighting, inching away at it. Finally got you there, and it sucks that that's what parents have to go through sometimes. But here we are. But yeah, congratulations. Hopefully everything sticks and you can move forward. Let's see here. Oh, let's see, Mr. Old Car. I think that's Mr. Old. Oh yeah, that's Garza and his team. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they actually sell cars. That's kind of one of their side gigs. Yeah, there's just different ways to get involved. And I know I'm rambling here. Again, that's just the lack of sleep and trying to keep my head screwed on straight. Just again, I would say, here's the Senate email address. Put some thoughts together tonight. If you're going to do it, please do it tonight. Send an email to the senators, and I send a link with who they are, so you have that about SB 590, and tell them. Well, I'll assume you're going to be against it, but hey, if you're for the bill, knock yourself out. But against the bill, the things I can think of, and hopefully for the folks that are listening, if you have other ideas of why it's a bad bill, let me pull it back up here. Please do. The only things when I read it, and I was talking about earlier, is one, there's no DNA requirement in there. There's no timelines. I mean, diapers and like how many are we talking about here? That I mean, you can nitpick at that part. Infant formula, breastfed versus, and this is retroactive, so there's not. The assumption here is that it's going to be the, a couple of these things should be taken care of with existing child support, not retroactive. But I guess they're going to then probably charge you back for some number. And then the big ones here is this lost wages. That's going to be is this a blank check or something? And then postpartum recovery. Those items scare the crap out of me, and they should scare everybody else too. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, Chuck was kind of going through his numbers. That's all I got. I'm going to leave it kind of open here for a few seconds. Does anyone have any ideas, any questions, anything that for anyone? I keep saying on the team. Sorry, I'm thinking about my project teams. I want to be a team with everybody and have us all collectively fight this monster in the state, out of the state. We're all brothers and sisters here. We're all dealing with the same kind of stuff, maybe at different points in our journey. We all just kind of come together and get a plan to move it forward. And it's going to take like individual things. I think actually on my website I had ways to set up if different areas and how to move a plan forward. That never took off. Anyway, sorry, there I go being disgruntled again. But if anybody has any ideas or any questions, let's just leave it wide open here. Let's see. Yeah. That what, that's another thing. I mean, I even on the show I was on, or the time I talked about it a few times back, I call out the guys on this. I mean, aside from the total fake dad, where they name this some guy. Guys, I'm talking to you, man. Keep your willy in your drawers. At the very, very least, wrap it. I mean, condoms are what 99 whatever percent effective, and I'm sure y'all ain't doing the Drake or whatever that guy was, did the sauce or whatever. Wrap it. I mean that if you're gonna make that decision to go have sex, at the very least, wrap it. But understand that for that 5 minutes, I'm gonna be kind probably with most people, but for that 5 minutes of fun, this is what you're gonna get for it. Is it worth it? No, it is not worth it. Teach your kids this too. I mean, this is all real stuff. And there's no age on here. I mean, young kids under the 18, and guess who's responsible for those kids? Guess who'll get nailed for this? It's you gotta do that. Look, Robert's got some great ideas. What do you got? Pop them on here. I'll even bring you into the call or into the show. I'm wanting to get any and all people to come together and come up with some ideas and email. I mean, all we can do at this point is email the senators and let them know what we think in a nice way. Um, let's see, replying to Robert Groza. It's yeah, actually, it will be bring. Okay, we're gonna bring Robert in. Let's bring him in here. Let me send him a quick doohickey. Everybody hang out. We're gonna have the man on here. Robert, just so you know, I'm gonna go on Facebook. I assume we're cool with sending you the link through Facebook. Let me pop that over here so we can keep that all whatever. Robert. So you're gonna see all the behind the scenes stuff here. Let's see, hide that, and there we go. And hopefully, Robert, yeah, I sent it to your messenger, so you have that. hopefully jump in here in about 2 seconds. And again, as you can tell, I'm not that professional. Keep it all. Let's see. Let me pop this guy down so you can just see me until he gets in. But yeah, we can hear from the man himself. Now, if people don't know who Robert is the man that single-handedly got the time taken back bill put through the Senate on all by his lonesome. So that was a good thing there. Let's see if he's able to get in. Well, he saw it. Yeah, he saw it. Okay, he should be getting in here in a second. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. I appreciate it, Chuck. Yeah, there's pretty much kind of all we can do at this point, and I'm wanting to kind of also do some other things with the shows. Yeah, doing discussions of people that have been fighting the system and stuff like that. I need to one of those get time. Just let everybody know I've been working. I'm gonna be kind and say 12-hour days for the last couple weeks, so I've been a little tired. All right, here comes Mr. Garza. There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's a going. Another day, another dollar. 50 cents after the tax man gets rid of it.
Right? Yeah, that's super crazy about the child support upon conception. I was just talking to several advocates about it. So tomorrow, I'm going to talk to them about the legislators about it, and just let me know what you think, because I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff out there right now. So they have child support upon conception, but they also have these other bills like the 50-50 parenting, and they're putting restrictions on it. Like last year, they said, okay, well, you need to put in the bill that there is nothing about child support. So you have to put this does not, it excludes child support or anything else,
Okay.
although it had nothing to do with it. So what I'm going to ask them is, why don't they do the same thing with this bill? Can't they make an amendment that says, okay, what about the mom? She has to live within 20 miles of the other parent, or the mother or the father have to live within 20 miles of the other parent to get this. You don't want to incentivize it. And then they move to Florida, and then now there goes, you're not even seeing your kid. Another problem again, right?
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So there's one amendment. Another amendment is, oh my gosh, I had like a ton of these. I should have just wrote them down when I was spitting them off earlier.
Here, I'll start typing them in here, and that way we'll have a record of it. See,
Okay.
20-mile restriction. All right. So we got that one.
Yeah. And then, and then I want to explain to them that these bills that they're passing need to incentivize to stay together. So why not, put in there that, or incentivize, if you get married, then there's these tax write-offs, right? Or some kind of deferred tax, something to incentivize the nuclear family, not just this chaos that keeps happening.
Okay.
There was some other ones. Man, I wish I would have.
Were you on earlier? Did you hear some of my thoughts on it?
No, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
just saw it.
Okay.
I just got
All
the
good.
alert. What were some of your thoughts on it? Maybe
So there's no DNA requirement on the bill. That one was kind of like any man can name any woman, or I'm sorry, any woman can name any man on there. There's no restriction on there at all. There's no bookends around the lost wages part of it on lost wages on during gestation. So
yes.
technically, she could say, "I'm pregnant. I quit my job," and then she's out. And then the postpartum recovery that lasts like 40 years.
Right.
That's my
So
ongoing joke.
that's another thing, is that they should take the mother and the father's income into consideration, because, or even during the 9 months, take both incomes and charge them both 20%. That way it'll offset both households. So if the dad's making
Okay.
less or the mom's making less, it'll actually offset whatever it is, and that will actually support the real family or the real person that it needs to go to.
Okay. It's a good
And
one.
then the other thing is, if the child dies, and I looked up stats, which I was looking through the CDC just a minute ago. I had no idea that the stats were as high as they were, but on the stats, that's actually pretty high. And do you get the money back? Do you, if if the person's in jail or whatever they do to him, the child's passed away, then what? Like, there is nothing in this bill to say what happens.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing is to incentivize the nuclear family stay together, or at least incentivize something to stay within a 20-mile radius or whatever. As long as you live within 20 miles of each other, then you're going to get these funds. If not, then done.
Okay.
The other thing is, I really want to ask too, is so the same thing goes along the lines of the 50-50 parenting thing, is that they want us to put stuff in the bill. So I want to ask him, is this really about the children, or is it about state funding? Because if it's about the children, then why don't we add an amendment in there to exclude the 9 months of child support that the state can collect any kind of interest on it or any
Oh, okay.
kickbacks for 9 months? If this is truly about the children, why don't we put that amendment in there? That if it's not about the money, it's about the children. Well, let's have the state take that money out then.
I, I mean, we all know it is. I mean, we all know why they're doing it. And that's
Still, you
40
have to bring it up. I mean, if it's not brought up, then it's like, I know y'all can add amendments. Y'all added it to the 50-50 thing. So why
Right.
not add an amendment there if it's really not about the state funding? And the other thing is and that's what I was calling you earlier, was because if you take, you can do a Google search right now, and you can search how many births there were last year, right? So then
Oh,
that
yeah.
this is how many births were in 2022 in the state of Texas. I can't remember, it's like 30,000 or something like that. But and then there has to be a math computation. So if you take, and I think that thing says it's one per every, or 12.5 versus every 1,000 people or something like that. Anyway,
Right.
is that what it is? That what you found is like
Um,
12.5% out of every 1,000?
yeah, I haven't got to that part. Number of births in Texas,
Mhm.
live births in 2020 was 368,000.
Okay. So so take that number, and then there's 30 million people in Texas. So then you figure up how much that is, or you know what, you don't even need to figure up that. So you have how many births?
368,000.
Okay, so 368,000. Then you Google what's the national income of Texas, right? So then, because what we're going to find out here is how much Title 4D money is bringing them in 9 months.
Oh, yeah, let's give them the.
So then we can come up with a real number that says, hey, look, okay, there's this many births. There's this is the national average of what most Texans make. Here's the median.
Right.
And then Title 4D brings in 66%. So you multiply all that, and then you find out how much more this, and then multiply that by 9, because it's 9 months for from term. So then that's how much money the state of Texas, by passing this bill, is about to make. So when you put those real numbers out there and you show them the real figures, because it's pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, so it was $34,000 is the average income.
So this is what I was thinking is, so you take the $34,000 times how many births there were, and then what else? Oh yeah, and then Title 4D's 66% on, or so one child is 20%, right? So
Right.
so it's 20%. So multiply whatever it is, then get 20% of that, because that's what they would be paying in.
2.5 million. Wait,
Okay, but is
2.5
that a month?
billion.
Because that's a month.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry,
then 9
2.5
months.
billion.
So times 9 is 9 months. So they just increased with this one law $25 billion. Now, oh, here's the other thing. I'm glad I'm talking to you about this too, because I have so many things in my head. The state of Texas collected a lot of child support, but there's also in a kitty, that they can't find where to put this money, that, they can't reach the mom or the dad or whatever, right? So the
Right.
state of Texas is holding all this money. I can't remember what it's called, but there was a lot of money in there. It was like some astronomical number that they can't put anywhere because they can't locate the mom or the dad, but they're getting these funds.
Right.
Why not take those funds and use them for these parents that are, um, take that money that's just sitting there, instead of trying to pass this bill, come up with something else to use those funds to offset whatever it is that the state of Texas is losing right now, supposedly is why they're having to pass this bill.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. I mean, we know what they're doing and why. It's just
Right.
yeah, it's putting enough heat on them, having people watch that. Well, they won't know how many people are watching the live channel, but yeah, applying enough heat during that conversation to make them think twice about it. Yeah, I mean those are things. So you're going to be at the Capitol tomorrow talking to the 5 senators about it.
Correct. I'm
Oh,
going to say these same things that I'm bringing up to you all. Can't they make amendments that would incentivize the nuclear family versus disincentivizing it? Because these bills that they're passing are disincentivizing it.
right,
And so because without strong families, we're not going to have a strong nation.
right.
And we're going to see the effects of what's going on and what they're passing right now, in 10, 15 years. But by that time, it's probably going to be too late to do anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And we saw a little
So I just
glimpse of
want to
that
make them
today.
think.
Yeah, yeah, make them think. Yeah, I mean, those are great ideas. Yeah, the DNA thing, the other parts of it. I mean, yeah. Do you know if anyone else is going to be there tomorrow?
Taryn, I think, said
Oh,
he was going to
Terrence.
be
Okay,
there.
good. Yeah, he's
And I
local.
think a couple other people. Yeah. But this bill is really going to hurt our youth. Um,
Yes.
I mean, it's hard enough for grown-ups to, uh, you know, pay this child support and everything, which if you have a kid, you have to support them. I get it.
Oh
I
yeah.
100% get it.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they're going about it, they're not they're not disincentivizing sex. They're not putting money into educating these youths. And that's the other thing. I want to bring up, when we're in Baltimore, I had a father we had a father that, said, we're asking all of them what do they need. And this father was like, look, I need a role model. And we're like, what, a role model? He was like, yeah. He was like, you want me to be a father,
Yeah.
but I never had one, so I don't know what that's like. I don't know how to be a father. I need a mentor, a role model, something to show me what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, that simple thing right there.
Well, what's crazy is that they do have programs that are funded by with Title 40 money to do that, but there's not enough money in it for Texas to make it worthwhile. So they spent their time doing the child support versus instead of the helping dads be dads.
But then you're incentivizing again, if you get
Yep.
thrown in jail for this, the state of Texas is getting money
Oh
again.
yeah.
In fact, they're making double money. The state of Texas is making double the amount of a dad sitting in jail for 1 month
Yep.
than it is for him to pay his child support.
Yep.
They need to disincentivize everything that's going on. This is not the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's not. I just wonder why 5 bills for child or retroactive child support by different people that seem to have no relation to each other. I mean, some were being done by people that were farmers. It was one of that made no sense that 5 very similar written bills by 5 different people were made. But I'm sure there's a
Yeah,
logical.
I get it. I mean, that they were trying to, at first, if you're on Section 8
Oh
or
yeah,
food stamps, yes, absolutely, you have to pay the government back. But a blanket for everybody, as soon as you get divorced and you have a good income, that you don't need that, or it's not going to
right.
affect you. No.
Yeah, I mean, this is serious stuff. I'm wondering. I mean, what I've been kind of instructing the folks that have been listening is to email the senator. I was given from his secretary an email address to send, uh, you know, uh, notes to, so they can be a member of the witness process. I'm wondering if, maybe either in addition to doing, well, I guess I think maybe like having send them to you or to send them to, to a group or something, but maybe I think it makes more sense to
So I
directly.
think we get the five senators or whatever or whoever's going to be there, and then we just put their email addresses down in the comments and let people just click on it and don't be rude.
Yeah,
Just send them say, hey, I don't think this is a good bill. This is going to affect our youth. And if you have grown-ups that can't even pay their child support right now, the other thing that I'm going to mention too, I'm glad you're writing these down, or typing them out, is the effect that it's going to have on these people's credits, their credit scores. You can't do anything, and then all of a sudden you have all these teenagers growing up with these high credit scores or these low credit scores that are going to have high limits on. They can't get financed for a house. They can't get financed anything because they couldn't have paid their child support when they were in high school.
right. Yeah. And truth be told, that's going to be probably a decent number of these is the younger kids. When we see again, the millennials are, they're the ones, what, 64% roughly. They're the ones that are having kids out of wedlock and, single mother homes and all that. That is going to be impacting those kids mostly.
And you're going to wreck the economy. There's no way
Mm.
that a child needs, and I think I need to Google this tonight too. So at different ages,
Mhm.
how much a child needs, right? At age 1, 2, 3, there has to be statistics on it.
Yeah.
So that child, although it's in the womb, why would you pay 20% of your income to someone that they don't need? I think the cap in Texas $2,800. Let's just say 2,800.
You're
That's
trying
the
to
cap
raise
in
that.
Texas. Why are you exactly? But why does a child that's in the womb need $2,800? That's a mortgage payment for most people.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a mortgage payment for most people.
Yeah. Now,
And then you have to also, you know, food, clothing, and shelter yourself. So when the kid comes, you actually have a home to live in.
oh yeah, definitely. Now, I don't think that in the retroactive part of it, I don't think they were saying 20% of the person's salary. They're saying here. Let me. I don't know if you can. You're on your phone. I'm guessing you probably can't
Yeah,
see
I
this
can't
that
really.
well.
But
Well,
how much is it?
it's reimburse the child's mother for 50% of the reasonable necessary medical expenses incurred by the mother and the child during gestation and delivery and incurred by the mother during postpartum recovery that are not reimbursed by medical insurance. And then the cost of purchased by the mother in preparing for the child's birth, diapers, car seat, crib, clothing, infant formula, lost wages as a result of time spent receiving medical attention during gestation, which is separate.
Okay. Well, what if she didn't have a job? Then what wages are you going to give her?
Yeah, that's What are you gonna? Yeah, what are you gonna do? Those things aren't even in there. That's another good one. And then again, the one that concerns me the
Type
most.
that one out. I'm going to ask that one too.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what.
I just thought it was a blanket. The only child support upon conception that I read that the mother could just name the father, and it was her own right whether she wanted to have a DNA test or not.
Right.
That was the only thing that I read of another bill.
Mhm.
There's been several of these that have came out. I didn't read this exact one, but I was going to read it tonight.
Yeah, this one does not have a DNA piece in there at all. But the big one that's
Good.
scaring the crap out of me is postpartum recovery. And I joke about that. I take that's 40 years worth. But like I was joking earlier, my ex-wife was trying to say she was had postpartum for 10 plus years. Like,
Right.
and there's no cap on it. That's scary on what this is going to mean to men. I mean, what this is
Yeah,
gonna mean to them.
there's going to be a bunch of amendments on here that there has to be a cap on the time for the postpartum. There has to be a cap
Mhm.
on medical. There has to be a cap on she doesn't need a Ferrari stroller, right?
Right.
She needs
Yeah.
just a normal whatever stroller.
Yeah.
But some of these people are going to go crazy. They're going to go get a Louis Vuitton
Exactly.
stroller, and then you have to pay half.
Yeah, I was sitting there going, yeah, diapers. We talking like Walmart Pampers or whatever? Is that 20 bucks? I mean, we're the car seat, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever car seats are nowadays. A crib, clothing. What newborn needs clothing? That
Yep.
big allowance for that. What does that mean? Why are they even putting it in here? And the other part is, I did a show a couple weeks ago on Indiana, which actually has done this, and now they're trying to come back to amend it even further to do some stuff, and that was cause for a lot of concern because they've been, of course, increasing the amount of money they've been getting through this.
Hmm.
And when I did that show for Indiana, I was like trying to tell the Texas guys and girls, I'm like, guys, this is what this is going to do. This is what it's going to mean. It's not a joke. But yeah, it is
So
what it
you have
is.
in Indiana where they
But no,
were, you have in Indiana where they were redoing it or amending it.
yeah, they're. Let's see if I can go back to the.
Because if you have that, if you can email it to me or message it to me, that way I can
Yeah,
read it. Because that's a good argument that it's like, hey, look, this has been done already, but look, they're having to amend it for what? They didn't
yeah,
get it right the first time.
exactly.
Let's learn from their mistake and amend it. If you're going to pass this, then you need to amend it before it gets passed, or else you're going to wreak havoc on everyone.
I'm trying to find. Yeah, there's just some bad stuff in here, and I think I include all the links to it.
I
Yeah,
think the biggest thing, because I mean, just the credit score, you're going to ruin somebody's credit before they even begin to start having credit, and
yeah,
it's going to affect them all through their life. Or, oh,
exactly.
okay, write this one down. If
Okay.
there is something in that bill that takes child support off of credit scores, if they can exclude child support, if they're going to do this to help our youth, there needs to be something to help our youth. And you're going to put them in jail, whatever, it's fine if that's what you're going to do, but at least don't double whammy them with ruining their credit score on top of it where they're trying to get ahead in life.
All right, added that one in there. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about the credit score thing, but yeah, that's a huge one because right now it's weird. It's listed as a debt, but then that goes into a whole other argument and
Right.
all other stuff.
And they can do it. They can exclude that stuff from credit scores
Yeah.
if they have the power to do it.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. I was hoping that they're going to be at least I don't know a little bit reasonable. I don't know from what I've seen of them, I have not been impressed. I mean, because what I've read and just again five bills. That's the part that's scaring the crap out of me. Is 5 bills. That's
Yeah.
a lot. It, that this is
Hmm.
scary. But actually, I'll include the bill back to you in the
Yeah, I
chat.
think that's the biggest things though, their credit score and to be able to live within 20 miles to get that
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that would be
To
something there.
incentivize the bond, incentivize the the family eventually maybe going that route to a nuclear family, even though they didn't start out that way. Um, I think incentivize it somehow, and that would be incentivizing it is that you only get this within a 20-mile radius. If you live within 20 miles, 50 miles, whatever it is, even 100
Mhm.
miles, but you live within a certain amount of radius,
Right. Yeah. I mean that. I just I don't know
that
the
would be a big
pessimism.
one. That would be a
Yeah.
huge one for families
Yeah.
to
That
keep them together.
I'm just very pessimistic because I'm thinking that the thought is that it's the one night stand. I mean, some of the documentation I read from the Family Law Foundation on the equal shared parenting bill, the kind of the tack they were taking, and I'm sure the Family Law Foundation's already got with these guys on this one, is that most of these the people are one night stands. Let's see, I have to find the
Well, if they
document.
are, they're adults. They made this decision. Why is the state stepping in on that? And if you're going to step
Right.
in and you're going to throw someone in jail for it, you might as well say, okay, to keep the family together, here's because of it too.
Right. Yeah.
Once at least equalize the playing field here. If they want the money, they have to stay around. That way, the kid, we already know the effects of having a kid not see one parent or the other. It puts them at risk for alcoholism, teen pregnancy, and then they go repeating the cycle again.
Oh yeah.
At least put a restriction in there on moving.
There should be something in there, yeah, that does that. Man, okay. Well, we got some good stuff here. And I basically put it into the stream chat, so you can go back and kind of grab each of those.
Okay, thanks.
Trying to think.
Anyway, I was just jumping in because I had just talked about this and I had all these, and I'm sure there were more. I just went blank, but thanks for writing those down. So,
Yeah, no, this is
but
good stuff.
I'll be there. I'll be leaving here at 4 a.m. to get there at 8 a.m. to be there bright and early to sign up for to be able to talk about it. So to vote on it. Well, not vote on it. I guess my vote doesn't count, but just to be able to talk to the senators about some of these ideas or amendments that I feel they should put in there to incentivize at least keeping the family together.
Right, definitely. So for everybody else, get those emails which are in there. You've heard Robert lay out a number of good things. It'd be interesting if Brian and the rest of them get 1,000 emails saying roughly the same thing, and then you go there and go, "Hey, have you thought about the credit
ABC, yeah.
reporting or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh crap, I've heard from 100 other people have said the exact same thing that may do
We need to
something."
amend this bill or something, yeah. Or let's put it off until next session and think about
Yeah.
this.
And if it do- if those five bills, I don't know, I again I'm pessimistic, but if those five bills get put off, then the next 2 years we need to everybody has to come together and fight this thing. I mean, because yeah, because if for whatever
Yeah.
reason it gets kicked out this time, it's coming around next time.
Yep.
We got lucky, kind of thing. Actually getting a number of people thanking you for what you're doing and going down there and all that. And I would say if anyone's able to go down to Austin tomorrow, be there at 9 a.m. To do your thing. If you can't do that, at the very, very least, open up your email, drop those in there, and write something. Don't be stupid. Don't.
You have to be very respectful. I just saw some person testify and they had to try to grab the mic from them and everything else. So,
Oh God. Okay.
yeah, they
Yeah.
went over their time and everything else. So,
They just kind of like lost their business. Yeah. Yeah, so guys, yeah, and again, one person, and we saw, yeah, you've been this a while. What, 8 years ago, Dutton killed the bill because he got threatened at one time or whatever. These people, I would say they're looking for a way to not listen to you. Don't give them one. Kind of
yeah,
outsmart them. And I know what you want to say. I want to say it too, but be
you got to
respectful.
be respectful for sure.
Yeah,
Yep. All
definitely.
right. Well, I'm going to hop off, but thank you so much for bringing me on.
Oh,
I just was, but I'll end up doing probably a live feed or whatever tomorrow
that would be
from
awesome.
there. So,
That would
anyway,
be
thanks
awesome.
everybody. But thanks again, Dwayne. We'll talk
All
to you
right.
soon. All
Later,
right.
Robert.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys heard from the man. He's going to be down in Austin tomorrow morning, leaving out of Dallas area, so a nice 4-hour drive. And it'd be dark out, so he's going in there. You know what? Give the guy some support. Get the emails open. Crack fingers, type some stuff, keep it decently respectful, and at least take a shot. At least if it goes through, whatever, you at least say you tried. I mean, you can at least say, hey, you know what? And then you can, whenever I start doing my video, you can go, yeah, I get it. That's kind of Lamont. um, I, yeah, I get the sentiment. I understand it, but this is a time. I was talking about Dutton's bill. There was an equal shared parenting bill about I think 6 or 8 years ago, and one person left a voicemail message, and I heard the voicemail message. It wasn't mean or anything, but it was taken as threatening, and he just pulled the bill. I mean, I just say they're looking for a reason to do it. Let's just not give them one. Threatening them and all that. One, we don't have the numbers. Two, yeah, it's just at this point they hold all the cards. That's just the facts. Now, if we can get everyone to get off their butts and rally together and get a million Texans all fired up about saying if you don't do this or don't do that, you're not going to get back in. Um, thanks, Chuck. Yeah, then I mean, after these, hopefully these bills get squashed and they go back to the drawing board. Enough bad stuff happens, whatever, they get squashed. Then we got 2 years, and we've got to get everybody together and get the numbers up, get the people involved, and put pressure on them. I mean, and people can do this locally, and in the entire state, and even if not in Texas, you can do it in your state. You just gotta get people involved. That's that is the way to do it, and we just got to get people there. So, all right, I'm gonna keep it open for kind of a few more seconds here. Ooh, I've already been on for an hour. Wow. Thank you all for hanging out with me. But if you, oh, Chuck's asking a question here. Can you please comment on why the Constitution and these cases that have already set precedent are being ignored and we accept this as business as usual? Uh, oh boy. There is the arguments back and forth. And it's one of those, they've got all the power. I mean, anyone that walks in with the, Constitution's on my side or whatever, they quickly get put in jail because it's one person doing it. I mean, we know what these guys do under cover of darkness, all the games they play, you name it. It, I mean, if common sense, the right and law was on our side, we now obviously wouldn't be doing this. But we know that we have all these challenges, so that doesn't work. The way that I can see that will work is getting the millions of people fed up and doing something about it. I'd like to say, yeah, I can. Everyone that's went in there and quoted the law or did this or did that, they've all been struck down because it's one person, and that's what it boils down to: is one person goes in and tries to fight the system. It doesn't work. It's going to take millions of people banding together under one banner or a couple, whatever, to fight this thing. I've tried it locally, statewide, it has not worked out well. If we can just get enough people to band together and have a common goal of saying if this person doesn't pass this, he or she doesn't have a job next time around, and mean it. And if we can get again a million, I keep saying a million people, 100,000, a number of people that are going to stand up to this nonsense and stop it. That's the only way. That's the only way that will happen. I mean, I'm like biting my tongue because we had a situation in Austin today where a topic that would probably offend a number of Texans or supposed Texans was just out and out. Just people were flagrant about it, and it was no big deal. If you want to know more about that, go to David Lowe's LOWE, his web page or his Facebook page, and read through some of that. That happened at the Rotunda down in Austin today, and it should just be appalling to everyone with any level of decency in them. That's just what it is. But anywho, I'm going to wrap her up here. I again get those emails out. Do what you can. This is where we're at this point. I wish I had, some we can do this, we can do that, but we don't have the numbers. We don't have the. This is the bet. This is what we can do. Get it, share it, get in touch with your friends. If you draft a good email, share it out. Say, hey, click one button. I'll say that right now. Make it to where it's a one button click, and with their email address and all that stuff to send it out and make sure they get out tonight. And then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Actually, I won't be able to watch it till afterwards because of my job. But log into the state. Maybe I'll put something out with the link to it if you don't get to it on your own. But if you go to the Texas thing, they'll have that it being played live. You can watch it happen. All right, guys. Everyone have a good rest of your evening, and we will talk to y'all later.